And this awareness is available for the next question, a continuance of the preceding question from Anna. Please proceed.
Today's date, September 19th, 2019, and a question from Carl. Am I right when I say that there are two main timelines leading up to Ascension for humanity, and that there is a third timeline for those who are here to support those on the two main timelines? If this is right, could you please give some more specifics?
Please understand that paradox is involved here and in the answering of this question. And that there is discussion or presentation from Carl that there are two main timelines and a third timeline that supports the main two. This is correct, but it is also wrong. It is correct in that there are two main timelines. There are a third timeline supporting them, yes. But what of the individual timelines of each individual on this planet of Earth? This wondrous, multidimensional being that holds many strands of consciousness upon her surface and within her being. In other words, while you can indeed hold that it is the two mainstream lines, there are billions of timelines in actuality. For each human being has his or her own timeline. These ones can be controlled and manipulated because these are times where there is a lack of understanding, there is a lack of awareness, of wakefulness, that most are asleep, most are manipulated, programmed, and controlled by certain ones who have hidden agendas. And of course, these agendas are for their own advantage. That they use these sheeple to feed upon, to provide labor for them, to provide through them and the manipulation of financial systems their wealth and their power. All of this is correct. It could then be seen that from here you could say one of the two main timelines is to continue in this manner and to continue to control and dehumanize human beings, making them available for your use and for your benefit if you are those who are of the dark side, if you will. Then there are those who are awakening. And this could be also part of that which is the third timeline that is being brought in. This could be the extraterrestrial galactic Federation of Light timeline, where there is intervention to help the second main timeline, this being the freeing of humanity, this being the awakening of humanity, this being through the actions of certain ones, such as a champion, such as Donald Trump and other patriots, that these ones are assisting now. Because, as already spoken in the previous question from Anna, that the time of intervention is needed now, necessary now. For to ignore this now would be to give again power and to those who have had power, who have manipulated timelines, have moved things in certain directions, have hidden the true history of the planet and of the ones that humans once were. Now, the irony of the paradox is that each individual will have the experience that they need for their soul growth and development. Thus it is that there may indeed still be the many who need to have Planet B experiences. For their soul needs to understand to even a more extreme level what it is like to be completely disconnected from source and soul. And that it may well be that there are those who will continue along those B paths to have exactly these experiences. But there is also that process because of the intervention, because of the awakening, because of the timing, the intent, and the desire of Source itself in this matter, that will awaken, because it is time now. It is time to end that which has been the experience and the experiment in consciousness of duality, in the dualistic realm, where those in the shadow have had power and control from the shadow over those who would move into the light and live in the light. Indeed, the prospect of living in the light has been so controlled and manipulated that it could not even be said to be living in the light. The clarity, the transparency of that which is divine Source itself. For they have muddied the waters, they being those who have had control. And they would have it that humans now move down that place of transhumanistic development, as if this was the best way forward. Of course, this is the most dangerous path. And it is expressed that there will be intervention and revelation around this. But there will still be those who in their individual timeline of experience may indeed accept the mark of the beast, may accept the technology and the implants and the alterations that will take their connection to Source away, or at least submerge it even more deeply. This has happened in the past. Those who exist on the demonic realm are humans who have lost that which sold it all out for material gain. This awareness will not go further into this at this time. It is simply saying there is already a template there, an example there of how this could work out. Indeed, it could even be said that the demonic ones are part of the Planet B scenarios of the past and even of the future. But this is another matter. Ultimately, this awareness would say that it can certainly be seen that what is happening now is the collapse of many billions of timelines into stronger sub-timelines, and these sub-timelines collapse into other timelines, and these timelines collapsing and collapsing and collapsing until it could be seen that you have the two main timelines, the timeline of the dark side, and that would continue in the Planet B, the timeline of the light side that would continue not only in Planet A, but the new Planet AB that is formulating at this time, and that the third timeline is that of those who have been outside of time, who have intervened at this time, and to create this situation, but also to create the resolution and the solution of the situation that has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years, this battle between the light and the dark, if you wish to put it so simply. This awareness feels complete, but again opens the door to you, Dee Dee.
I feel like you answered the question when you said that we all have our individual timelines, which would lead up to ascension for humanity in a collective way, but also in an individual way. So it's not just two timelines, many timelines.
Many timelines, indeed. But in a way, it is always the personal timeline that is the most important, for each individual will have choice. Most do not realize this, again, due to their subjected nature. But the point is, at some point, events and circumstances can conspire and to affect any one individual. An unforeseen accident, an event in the family, a circumstance where something occurs, such as a natural catastrophe. Indeed, it is said that often it is when there is extreme trauma that the biggest changes can happen. If one has a home and it is wiped out by a tornado. One can be devastated by it and allow this event to be that key event, that catalyst event that spirals the individual downward into gloom, doom, despair. They can see it as all conspiracy against them. There is no God. There is no right. There is no goodness to anything. They can become embittered. They can become scornful. They can become so negative that they become willingly an agent of the darkest side that would support such concepts and beliefs. Or they could, upon losing their house, be so traumatized that they seek a change in their old way of thinking, that they can see, for an example, that while the house may be gone, the materials of their lives destroyed, they are alive, their families are alive, and great joy can come forward, and great anticipation that they will rebuild, and that they are open to new ways. They do not simply have to replace the old structure as it once was. They can actually make it better. And thus, even in their great loss, they may allow this situation of chaos to be the situation of opportunity that moves them forward, that opens them up, that allows them to see things completely differently than they once did, because of the event that on the surface was such a lousy event. Do you see how each has a choice? And given one's character, given one's willingness to look at events as opportunities or disasters, that this is what determines for each individual a course of a lifetime, or the course of their lifetime. This is why Ascension and the Ascension process is first and foremost always on a personal level. And that in that Ascension process, that opening up to that which is the greater truth of one's own being, the greater truth of that which is always opportunity to move into those circumstances that will bring change, will bring an awakening, or not. It is always on a personal level. And as you subscribe to this, as you open to this, as you open your own life to be the product of those intervening energies, as you pray to that which is your own spirit and your own soul and your own nature, and open up to receive, as you become persons of worth, for you are always worthy, have always been worthy. As you allow this to be your truth, your reality, your standard, then you will move it forward. You will move yourself forward. For so it is that a person of worth must advance, for they are worthy enough to do so. And as you work this and know this, and your own timeline becomes realized, you realize as well that you have the choice, and that you can choose to be negative, you can choose to be self-destructive, you can choose to blow out and to blame others and to play the victim, or you can choose not to do so. You can choose to see that which was a downfall, a traumatic incident, as the greatest opportunity that was presented to you. And that from this place you are the phoenix rising from the ashes. And that which replaces is not simply that which is carbon copy to that which was lost, but that which is better than that which once was. That you are the one, the worthy one, that deserves to find the truth within. For that is your intent, that is your purpose, and that is your goal. Whether you understand this or not, it is not really important. And yet it is extremely important. Paradox again. It is not important, for your life will play itself out. If you do not achieve it this time, you may come back again and again and again until you begin to open. And each life will bring you closer. Each life that is on that path of ascension, if you will. And there is that path of declination, descent, not ascent. And that this too has its purpose over the millions of lifetimes that could be experienced. Or indeed, as those events occur in your life that challenge, that confront, that you shift, even slightly, to a new posture and a new attitude of acceptance that here is something that is a gift, that there is opportunity to learn from this event, this encounter with others, whatever it is that sparks you or moves you or presents to you the opportunity for growth and development. All of these involve timelines, personal timelines, regional timelines, national timelines, international, global. And you are part of the greater as you are individual as well. And this is that which this awareness presents today as the answer to the question presented and gives cause for consideration to those who are changing their own lives, who are opening to higher, different truths that may challenge, especially now that the unveiling is underway, that may confront, that may even demand that your consideration of these matters is not simply that which you have always held to be so, but actually does harbor for you the possibility that you can change because you have looked at it and are looking and will look at it differently than how you have looked at it before, held it to be, and lived it before. These are times of great challenge and great change, but they are also the times of the greatest opportunity to awaken and to ascend to the next level. That is the level appropriate for you. And so it is. And that this awareness is complete.
Thank you, awareness.